The Iron Throne, Game of Thrones, Season 8, Episode 6, The Iron Throne.
The Iron Throne.
The season finale, the show finale, the series finale. How do you guys feel?
I feel good. Yeah, I felt really good about it.
I feel like it's a darker world now.
You think so?
Just because Game of Thrones is gone.
Oh. I thought you meant like their world was darker.
No, my world's darker. We are recording this a few days after, kind of gather our thoughts a little bit, and it's not because we didn't save audio or anything like that.
I saved the audio.
My computer
rejected me.
My computer rejected me. So, but what do you guys think of this overall episode before we get right into it?
Yeah, I thought it was fine. Like, as in the way of TV shows ending, I thought it was completely fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I mean, say what you want about the 8th season. Like, it was pretty quick paced, but I think this episode kind of wrapped it up in a way that was pretty well satisfying.
It was rushed, but I feel like this episode went with the how rushed it was, but was able to wrap it up in a satisfying way.
Right.
But yeah, let's get right into it. We have Davos, Jon, Tyrion walking through. We got a burnt guy. You mentioned that he never came into focus.
Oh yeah, he never came into focus,
which is kind of cool.
That was an interesting thing.
And then Tyrion insists to go to the Red Keep alone after Jon gives him the option to have some guys.
Yeah.
Jon doesn't offer to go with him. But we now know that
they each had their own thing that they were trying to do.
Yeah, he was going specifically, and he didn't want people to know in case Jaime and Cersei were down there dead. Yeah. The big part of this scene I wanted to touch on was the Jon and Grey Worm interaction.
Yeah.
Like,
there's some tension there.
What do you think was going to happen when that was happening?
I thought for a second that Jon was going to pull out his knife and go...
Pull that drop.
Yeah, pull that drop.
That wasn't going to happen because I think Jon kind of realized, like, it wasn't just going to be one of the two of them that died. It was going to be Northmen and Unsullied
that died.
Yeah, it was going to be a pretty bloody skirmish.
I'm on Jon's side here. Like, I guess it makes sense. Like, he's following orders, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't know if if this is a blood payment for Missandei or anything like that. It just seemed like he was just following orders, in my opinion.
I think it might be part of that.
I think there's a
he's
little
more
bit.
In loss. Yeah.
He's kind of reverted back into that soldier that he was raised to be.
And
you know?
And that might be him just escaping to his emotions.
Yeah, and apparently he has the pillar. They just cut off the stones. I heard that in an interview from the actor. He's a great voice, too.
Oh, yeah. He's really good
He's
voice.
So good.
Listen to him. Yeah.
Yeah. And then...
But we're not going to tell you what his name is, so screw you guys.
I'll put it right there.
Good job.
You're going to forget.
Probably will. And then Tyrion goes and finds Jaime and Cersei. And probably, would you say the most emotional, like, for the characters of the episode?
Yeah.
And I know people are probably going to be like, well, Cersei and him never had a good relationship. So why is he crying over her?
Well,
but like even like season 2 and 3, they have a decent relationship, even though you can tell she hates him, but he cares for them.
Yeah, he still views her as his sister. And if anything, like, even if he got over that and started to hate her, he loves Jaime and Jaime loves her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I think he wanted what's best, even though I think he's grown up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
He's doesn't really drink as much. He drank... I think he went sober for a while until episode 3. He hasn't been with his whores. And then, he's kind of got a clear brain to hate and anger. And he's probably seen it growing with Daenerys as her anger and hate started to grow. I think it was a great scene. Great acting by him. And I love the little remix of The Reigns of Castamere.
Yeah.
Name? What's his name?
Ramin Djawadi.
He's a genius. He's the next John Williams.
Oh, hell yeah.
Ramen Noodles Djawadi.
Rami Malek. Wait. That's not right.
The real hero of this show.
Really, though.
Yeah, honestly, I think we don't talk about that enough. I don't think anybody talks about how good he is. I think he's gotten a lot more.
Amazing.
Yeah, and I think he's a big reason why this show is so successful, too.
Definitely. That soundtrack, you can't forget that.
Yeah, he's up there with, like, Elfman and Zimmer.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's true. And John Williams.
Yeah.
Come on.
John Williams is kind of god tier. The other two are trying to get up there.
Yeah, they're gold tier. They're not quite god.
They're platinum tier. He's god tier. They're almost there.
And then Arya spots Jon trying to work his way through the Dothraki, and you see that big Targaryen flag.
That was so cool.
And then
I don't even know where they get that. Did they just take one of the sails?
Yeah, probably. Just we got to get some guys up there. We got to make this look cool for Daenerys.
Yeah.
And very, very reminiscent of the Soviet Russia.
Hitler's Youth, that podcast you're listening
yeah.
to called it. Her Hitler's Youth speech.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, that's true. That was true.
Mm.
That was kind of her Hitler. It was also reminiscent of General Hux in The Force Awakens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which would also be kind of like a Nazi thing.
Yeah, it was very Nazi, Russian.
The Force Awakens. Oh, I was thinking of The Force Unleashed. I was like, did you just reference a video game?
No, I would never do that. I wrote in my notes, the Targaryen is looking Russian as fuck.
Nice.
And then, is it snow or ash? I don't know.
Mixed.
Yes.
But we get that awesome shot of Dany and Drogon flying in, and everybody just getting amped.
Mm-hmm.
Then she starts giving her speech. Oh, we get that shot that you loved.
Where Drogon is flying up.
Drogon on his hair wings.
Yeah. Drogon on his
that
wings.
was sweet.
That's so cool.
I loved that.
Yeah.
Like, kind of
Crazy how
reminiscent
nature
that
did
she's
that.
become the dragon. Like Viserys said, don't release the dragon, or don't make the dragon come out. I can't remember the exact quote. Remember in season 1,
You won't
episode
want
1?
to
Don't wake the dragon.
you
Don't-
want to wake the
yeah.
dragon. You don't want to wake the dragon, do you?
And so she's kind of become the dragon, almost like she's warged into Drogon in a way.
Sure.
Whatever. But it's a really cool shot. I think it's one of the best shots in the series.
Oh, yeah.
And she gives a pretty chilling speech, her youth Hitler speech. Is that one?
Hitler's Youth. It
Hitler's
was the
Youth.
Boy Scouts that Adolf Hitler started.
Oh, yeah.
Look that up in history. It's an
Yeah.
interesting thing that we could talk about for a while, but
I
not
didn't
going
know
to.
that. And then she rallies the troops, of course, and then Drogon comes in on the... He's the hype guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He's making sure everybody's amped.
Yeah.
Gets up there. Cool shot as well. Grey Worm sheds a tear because he gets a job promotion.
Mm-hmm. Same.
I felt weird about that. He was so proud of himself in that moment,
Yeah.
which I don't like.
Yeah. Well, because of what he did to get there.
Yeah.
He killed a lot of innocent people.
Which he's done a
Yeah,
lot.
he's done a lot
in the
of-
past.
Yeah.
Before he met Dany, so it's still a lot, and I'm sure he's done it before then.
Yeah, he had to murder a baby in front of its mother.
That's true. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Damn, Master Krasner. She says Winterfell to Dorne, Lannisport to Karth, and then the Summer Isles to the Jade Sea. For some reason, I thought Jon should know. He's hearing her say this.
Yeah.
But she's speaking Dothraki or High Valyrian. I can't remember exactly which one it was.
Well, she was speaking Dothraki to the Dothraki and
Yeah.
Valyrian to the
Unsullied.
Unsullied.
I imagine it
She
was
switched between the
Valyrian
two.
on when she said this part. But
Yeah.
I was like, when Jon isn't smart and he's talking to Tyrion,
Yeah.
and I'm like, Jon, you're so stupid. She just said that.
Yeah.
I was like, oh wait, she was talking a different language.
Yeah. I don't think he can understand it very well.
Oh no one did.
He probably had context
I think Tyrion was probably the only one that had a little bit of a.
idea.
It's like
Yeah,
me with Spanish. Or
Tyrion
something.
could probably understand High Valyrian.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he understands it decently
Yeah.
good. I remember he says nostril in
Yeah.
that one season. And then she basically wants to create communism.
Yeah. Basically.
And then
Mhm.
you want her to die.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. She's like, oh, I took down this tyrant. And I'm like, no, you became the tyrant.
Yeah, it's kind of
You
like
are the replacement.
replacing Hitler or Stalin,
Yeah.
I guess.
Replacing one dictator with another.
Yeah, which is basically what happened, right?
No.
I mean,
What-
they're
well,
different,
kinda.
completely different countries, but
Well, I know,
From
but
the
then he
American
took over
perspective, sure.
Eastern Europe.
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So
basically.
let's put it like this.
For the Polish,
When-
yes.
yes, for the Polish, yes.
Let's put it like this. It's when the Communist Party took over Russia from the Tsars.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay, sure. And then Tyrion and Dan have a nice little showdown. What'd you think about that, Andrew?
Oh yeah, when he throws his thing down.
He's
Yeah.
like, I don't want to be a part of this anymore. He takes off his pin, throws it away. That was a good shot.
I loved it. I thought it was perfect. Like, they didn't need to have any more than that for their final words.
No.
I love the point where she says, "You committed treason." He's like, "I committed treason, and you burnt a city."
Yeah. You burnt a city to the ground.
I love that. Like, I think that was perfect. But then Arya sneaks up on him. She kind of gives Jon his first hint of what he needs to do. I think he had the thought in his mind, but she was the first reassurance.
Mm-hmm.
He tells her that she's everybody's queen. Then she says, "Tell Sansa that," and then reminds him who he is. And I feel like that's a really good setup to what he has to do later on. She's also very sneaky, so...
Yeah. First thing there, I thought she was going to be like, "Oh, I'm going to kill another person."
One thing that, I see a lot of complaints about is Arya hasn't used the faces in this season.
Who cares?
And I don't think she's used the faces since Walder Frey.
She hasn't.
No.
Do you think that's kind of
She
like...
hasn't really needed to.
Lazy? But she could have technically just used the face to be Jaime, or you know what I mean?
But she has to kill the person to have their face.
Yeah.
So it's...
Technically,
and then, like,
unless she learns the magic, because remember when Jack and Hagar has the face or whatever? No one. And then we have the Tyrion Jon moment. What do you think about this? Especially how Jon acted.
Because
I think that's the pillar of the
it was a very conflicting thing for him.
Yeah.
Because he does love her, and Tyrion said he loves her too, but he knows what needs to be done.
I liked that Tyrion actually admitted that he loved her, which has never been, confirmed yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was like that shot of him in season 7? 6.
With the sex? Boat sex?
Yeah, boat sex was...
It was 7. Because there was the 7th episode of that, and it was he's the rightful heir to the Iron Kingdom.
That happened in season 6.
Well, that was the birth reveal, and then we revealed that Rhaegar was married to Lyanna. I think. I'm almost positive, but yeah. We have that weird, ominous look that he gives her.
Well, I don't think that... Because love has many, ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah, English kind of sucks to talk about love.
Yeah.
Let's be real here.
It could be very platonic.
Platonic love, yes.
Yeah.
So it could be
even Spanish has 4 different forms of the word love.
Swedish
English
has 2 different versions.
And that kind of leads into love is the death of duty, and duty is the death of love.
Which is what
when Jon's in denial, that's
Tyrion's
like, you got to do this, and then he repeats Aemon Targaryen and says, "Love is the death," or duty is the death.
Love is the death of duty.
Love is the death of duty.
And then Tyrion flips it on him and basically says, "Can I copy your homework?" And Jon says, "Yeah, just change it up a little bit." Or Jon just completely baffled, like, "Whoa, you just said what I said." Jon's like the stoner that just knows nothing.
Man.
What if it was the opposite?
What if the sky was under the ground?
I really like this conversation they have.
Yeah.
Jon is completely in denial about what he has to do, and I get it, I guess.
Oh yeah.
I hate that he says, "I don't know," about the question if he would burn the city to the ground if he was on a dragon.
He says, I don't know.
Well, that's why Tyrion calls him out and says, "Yeah, you do. You know exactly what the answer is. You're just trying to defend her because she's hot."
I mean, who wouldn't fall in love with her, to be completely honest?
Well, she's a very, besides her being a very beautiful person,
she's very powerful.
A very powerful and strong person.
Not necessarily power in the negative way either.
No.
She's...
Not until the end.
She's inspiring.
Yeah.
Even in her villainous time, she's inspiring. In a weird way. Yeah, for some people. But... from the outside looking in, the people that did not witness this, it could be very inspiring.
Oh yeah.
And then we get he leaves, and then Tyrion reminds him, "What about your sisters?" Kind of like what Varys says to Ned in the dungeon before he gets executed, which I thought was an awesome callback.
What of your daughter's life, my lord? Is that a precious thing to you?
And then what do you think about this next scene with Dany, walking to the throne, actually touching it, reminiscent of the House of the Undying vision?
Yeah. That, yeah.
Did you think she was going to touch it?
Well, yeah. Well, I thought she was going to sit down in it.
Yeah, she didn't get a chance.
What were you gonna say though?
Well, I was just remembering what you said on Sunday about the House of the Undying Vision.
Yeah, is that in the end, she went to the fields of grass where.
And then John kind of goes to the cave.
Yeah.
You know, in the end too. It's very reminiscent or poetic.
Yeah, in that like, eventually, she's back with her first husband.
Her own destruction caused her to go back to a very abusive relationship too.
Are we talking about
Daenerys and Drogo?
In the beginning.
Yeah.
Yes.
It grew to be loving, but like
in a Stockholm syndrome kind of way.
He fell in love with her too.
Yeah, he fell in love with her too.
But also she learned a lot of this tyranny from Drogo, in a way. This tyranny. Drogon's the dragon. Drogo.
Yeah. Which is funny because, so people were saying, oh, Drogon, what a stupid name for a dragon. It's named after Drogo.
Yeah, and Rhaegal is named after Rhaegar, or Rhaego, her unborn son.
Yeah.
And then Viserys is Viserion, the dragon. Yeah.
Read the books.
Read the damn books, or just pay attention.
But read the books.
She talks about...
I've listened to 2 of them on audiobook.
Both of them? 2?
Yeah, the first 2.
Nice. Wow, look at you. Listening to a book. That's really hard, you know?
Really?
I don't know.
It's really hard for you to read.
Each one of those books is 40 hours. Oh, it's so long.
I'm gonna have a hard time reading them.
I'm gonna get mine for my trip because I'll be in the air for a long time.
We could do a book review.
You'll probably get through the 1.
Yeah.
She mentions Aegon's 1,000 Swords in her little childhood. It's like she just burned down a fucking city. Yeah. And now she's talking about her childhood freaking memories. Like, she believes this.
Yeah, she kind of desensitized herself at some point.
It was
probably while she was burning all those people alive.
She's like thinking about the 1,000 Swords. Like, I couldn't even count to 20. Dracarys.
But the thing is also like, this is her end.
Yeah.
And when she says 1,000 swords, like she thought, oh, it's a towering above you, which is what George R. Martin, so that it was towering above everything.
And it's very asymmetrical.
Yeah, asymmetrical and very ugly looking.
Yeah, and it cuts people when they touch it.
Yeah.
It's supposed to represent evil.
Yes.
And it's true. Like, anybody that's wanted the Iron Throne has turned out to be a bad person.
John didn't want it. So
it's true.
I don't want it.
Bran didn't want it.
I don't want it.
But he got his own chair. It's okay.
I don't want it. Johnny, you're my queen. I'm brooding. And then John freaking just starts yelling at her.
Yeah, he's like, you burnt down a freaking city. Women, children.
Oh, the children.
Have you been down there? Have you seen children? Little children burned!
We were listening to that podcast today, and then
not just the King's Landing men, but the King's Landing women and children too.
And then they're comparing it to
to Anakin.
That wasn't
episode 2.
That wasn't or 3.
No, that's episode 2.
No, that's 2.
Is it 2? Oh, you're right. Attack of the Clones.
Yes,
but also
for later,
they're comparing it to the Robb Starks. They were boys.
Yeah, that's true.
They were boys!
Which I think that was better. It had to be, right?
Yeah.
Could be.
Yeah, possibly. I don't know.
John's a better king, but Robb's a, better actor.
Robb was a stellar.
I wouldn't say he's a better actor. But
Richard Madden's good.
He's hot.
Yeah. He's a good-looking guy.
Yeah.
His wife was very attractive, too. I think we can all admit that.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. And she basically just tries to justify everything she does.
Yeah, she's like, oh, well, they're all loyal to Cersei. And she's like, well, she's probably dead. You don't know that? Like, Dany doesn't know that she's dead at this moment, does she?
No, she doesn't really know that she's dead at any point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, like, it doesn't matter how loyal these people were.
Yeah.
Like, they're just people.
It's true. I wonder, like... Would it... Okay, first off, I heard somebody complaining about John making justifications for her, but that's just his denial.
Yeah.
I don't understand why people are hating on that part of John.
No.
Like, I feel like anybody would be in denial if their girlfriend / aunt just burnt down the place. I mean, if you have a girlfriend / aunt, you know,
Dude,
that's
like,
probably not a good thing. But
welcome to West Virginia.
it's called Alabama, bitch.
Yeah, same area.
Bama, roll tide. Just kidding. Hook 'em horns. And then I didn't know that that song was different. Like, that was Kid Rock.
Really?
And it wasn't
Kid Rock
Leonard
is a
Skinner.
completely different
But
song.
I just realized that they're referencing that song.
Yeah.
I didn't understand that.
Are you guys serious?
It hurt my head. And then he says he's her queen and stabs her through the chest, the heart, and revealing that he is Azor Ahai, because Azor Ahai put his sword through his wife Nissa, her chest, and it started on fire. Which is, I feel like, a pretty direct callback to Azor Ahai.
Yeah.
Like, we all thought Azor Ahai had to do with the Night King and the White Walkers.
Right.
But it seems like it was saving
the realm of the country.
Yeah.
Saving from fire rather than ice. Or both.
Nice.
Yeah, see, like, ice isn't always the bad thing either.
No.
A song of ice, then fire.
Then fire. Yeah. And then we get an instant reaction. What'd you think? Drogon.
Oof. He's like, well, there's like a personal connection between the writer and the dragon.
It's kind of like the Dire Wolf's tale.
Yeah. So it's, oh man, that would have been really emotional. And like, you can see the intelligence in this dragon's eyes and like how sad it is.
Yeah.
It goes up like a dog and like tries to wake up Danny.
It's true. And he nudges
yeah,
Danny
just like
with
a
his
little
head.
puppers.
Aww. We get a sad puppers moment and a good puppers moment in this episode.
Yeah.
Ghost.
Oh.
Good boy Pats.
Good boy Pats.
You're a good boy.
He's a good job.
Do you think John said that, like, just because it was a montage, they just didn't show it?
Yeah.
Good dog. Good doggo. Good doge.
Moving on.
And then I can't say his name today. Drogon. Did you think he was going to just light John up?
No.
At any point? I thought Arya was going to freaking come in, slice him with needle somehow.
Like, even though, like, John isn't an unburnt person, maybe in that moment he would become unburnt. No, that didn't happen.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of cool.
I thought
would be cool.
because there was a connection that he made with him in season 7.
Yeah.
You know, and
I think it's just because the dragon's intelligent and realizes that John made the right call.
Yeah.
And that he's been a part of an imperialist war machine.
Or he's mad that, you know, Daenerys committed suicide.
Nah, it's smart.
It's like, why did she kill herself? John's like,
I don't know, bro.
Damn.
Damn it.
But no, I think the dragon knew. And it knew that the Iron Throne was the cause of all of this pain, all of this suffering.
Yeah.
And the death of its mother.
And he burns it down.
Yeah. That the Iron Throne is no more.
That was a beautiful visual too.
Yeah.
Like it actually gave me chills.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about you guys, but I really liked the Iron Throne. I expected it to be burnt down in some way.
Destroyed. Yeah.
I thought maybe they would toss it into the sea like Ned Stark said he would to Viserys in season 1.
Yeah.
Like, so what? We'll just throw him into the sea. Bran tosses the Iron Throne.
That'd be nice.
But there is a new Iron Throne. The Iron Wheelchair.
The Iron Wheelchair.
They got to get that handicap ramp up there.
Yeah.
The memes the last couple of days have been so good.
They've been really good. Oh my gosh. Being on like the Twitter level, it's been very much like people complaining and then people like memeing it. People like giving praise to the actors and the writers, and then it's just been
See, I love the memes that are funny.
Yeah.
But when they're just sitting there crapping on it, it's just like, come on, get a life.
Like, enjoy it.
Yeah, like, you
Danny
can say...
wanted to break the wheel. Now the kingdom is ruled by 2 wheels.
Ooh, that's a good meme.
Glasses. Joint. But yeah, I expected it, and I loved that scene.
Okay.
Before we move on to that, let's just get a little bit of a, talk about Daenerys and Emilia Clarke, because she's an episode 1 character.
Yeah.
She's basically been in every episode since. Not everyone. But she's been one of the main characters, and she's done giving a lifetime performance here, too.
Yeah.
Something that she'll be remembered for. How many babies are named Khaleesi now?
Couple thousand.
Or Daenerys?
Very few.
I would rather be called Daenerys
27.
than Khaleesi.
Yeah, but more people are naming their kid Khaleesi than Daenerys.
Why?
It's
'Cause
I guess,
people
a
are stupid.
prettier name.
Khaleesi is not a pretty name.
But it sounds...
That sounds like that horse girl that you knew in 3rd grade.
McKinley?
Yeah.
It's McKinley's younger sister.
If any of you guys are listening to the name McKinley or Khaleesi,
I'm
Kaylin.
so sorry. But
Your mom is
awful.
stupid.
also,
But we got to give her some props. Like, she's done a great job.
she's fantastic.
And she's grown, and she's been very inspirational to
Yeah.
people.
Oh, yeah,
even
all
though,
have. I don't think anybody's really like...
yeah,
I can't think of a single bad actor from the show. Well, aside from the porn stars.
Shay. Shay's so bad.
She's so bad.
I am a whore. Remember?
Then we get a long fade to black as we skip a couple weeks, probably. As
Yeah. Wow.
It's got to be pretty close to a month. It took him a
yeah,
while to get down
I
there.
thought so. I thought it was probably
Especially
a
with
month.
Bran.
Yeah.
It'll take
Yeah.
a while to get
Push
Bran
that
down there.
wheelchair. I'm sure he's not riding the wheelchair
no,
down.
they probably like,
Well,
put it in
they
a
probably
cart.
just rebuilt him a new saddle.
Arya pushes him down the hill.
Because Tyrion designed him a pretty solid...
Sorry, what were you saying?
I said Tyrion probably designed him a pretty solid
saddle.
saddle, so they probably
Yeah.
just built an updated one.
Copied the design.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Oh, yeah, they probably just rode a
Unless-
horse.
Ramsay like destroyed all the records and everything, which I don't think he did.
I wouldn't put it past him.
Yeah. He's pretty terrible.
Yeah, and then Tyrion is taken out to the Council of Westeros, I called it.
Mhm.
We have Arya, Sansa, Bran, Sam, Brienne, Gendry, Davos. I put Gendry twice. And those guys are North representatives. You got Edmure too, North. So you could say the Starks have the majority in this
the
this
thing
council.
is, it's kind of like within American democracy.
Yeah.
Or whatever this government is.
Republic.
Whatever. In American politics, where the country or the states with the most people get the most representatives.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like, more land mass, you get more representatives.
Yeah, so it's whoever's left, I guess.
That too.
We also have,
Yeah, there's that.
I believe it's Howland Reed there, which is Jojen and Mira Reed's dad, which is also the one person that might actually know who Jon is, because he was with him at the Tower of Joy, which is interesting. Someone said it in a podcast. I don't know if for sure that's him.
Yeah.
But it would be kind of a nice callback. I wish he would have had more if it was. We have a new Prince of Dorne as well.
Mm-hmm.
Got Jon Royce, and you got a glow up on Robin Aaron.
Yeah. People were like really big about that. They're like, whoa, give me some titty milk.
I guess that's what happens when you drink from your mother's breast at the age of 7.
Jeez.
Like, he's looking good.
He's a
you
good-looking
know?
kid.
Actually,
Like, I honestly thought it
breastfeeding
was a
into a
recast.
later point in life will make you more attractive.
Until he'd have control over the city, kind of martial law going here.
Mm-hmm.
And Tyrion tries to speak up. Well, they're mad that Jon wasn't brought out either.
Yeah.
But they're keeping him. Why wouldn't they just kill Jon on the spot?
I don't know.
No body, no murder weapon.
Well,
Oh yeah, Jon basically got away with
duty.
murder.
Like, basically duty.
Yeah.
Like, none of the Unsullied are capable of giving original orders.
Oh.
Even Grey Worm can't give an original order. He hasn't been built for that.
Other than he was master of war.
Also,
But under the Queen.
yeah, under the
Yeah.
queen, but also like Jon technically outranks them, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so does
Theoretically.
Tyrion.
Because he was, like, basically on the path to be the king.
Yeah.
The king regent or whatever I can't
Yeah.
remember
It
what
would
the word
be
is
called
in
Lord
British
Protector
monarchy.
of the realm.
Yeah.
I don't think that's British, but that's definitely Westerosi.
Yeah. Sounds right.
Surprised they didn't really kill him, but they don't bring him out. Sansa's clearly pissed.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Grey Worm is pissed as well. But Jon got away with murder. Literally, there's no better way to get away with murder than a freaking dragon taking off the body and the
murder weapon?
and the murder weapon. John could just said like,
Oh, she left. Where'd she go?
This is blood.
What's
from
that pile of blood?
That's Cersei.
Well,
Can we get a
tell you
DNA
about
test
women.
in here? Oh my god!
Cut that.
What's wrong with that? Women have periods.
It's
Yes,
true.
they
It's
do.
not a bad
They do
thing.
have
And that
periods.
would show she's not pregnant.
I wish she's not pregnant. No, women do have
Sex
periods. Is
education.
a normal.
It's a normal thing.
Is a normal practice.
Yes.
Practice.
Normal.
The normal decision that they
the
make.
moral decision.
Gosh, we're on a rant right now. Tyrion starts talking. Grey Worm shuts
So
him
sorry.
up. Grey Worm just says like, "Shut the fuck up," and then he's like, "No, I'm not shutting the fuck up."
And then he's like, "We should pick a king." Instead.
Yeah, it was a little
Yeah.
weird. Like he's in shackles, and everybody just like, yeah,
Yeah, I don't get why everybody kind of like yielded their time to him.
and
But-
everybody kind of hates the Lannisters.
But
Yeah.
also, like before that, Sam was like, when they were asking who's gonna be the king, Sam was like, "Why don't we let the people decide?" You know?
Well, it's the people's king. The people should decide. Everybody laughs in his face.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess
Maybe I should give my dogs a choice too. I'll ask my horse. Jan Royce, what a bitch.
Yeah. But then Tyrion's like, "Why don't we just have these council choose?
Yeah.
These represent the people. Why not
Yeah.
let them choose?" And so, who is it? He's a Karstark, right?
Who?
No. A Blackfish.
Oh no, Edmure Tully.
Edmund Tully.
Yeah, that's
Tully.
Catelyn's little brother.
He stands up. I don't know how I feel. I think it's funny, but
Yeah.
I feel like it's unnecessary.
I think it was kind of like a kind of a reference to.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's gone.
Melty boy.
Melty boy. But it was. I think it was kind of a
Melty long boy.
Melty long boy. It was kind of a reference to Lord of the Rings. A little bit, where who was it?
Is it in the Fellowship?
Yeah, in Fellowship when Aragorn tells Legolas to sit down. It's like,
Oh yeah.
sit down, buddy. Sit down.
Gosh, he told me that already.
Yeah.
I'm still stuck on Robin. His glow up. I feel like Sansa's a little pissed. Like, man, maybe I should have married my cousin.
Oh.
But then now she's got two cousins. So she got two eligible bachelors called Jon Snow and Robin Arryn that are looking pretty good. And Jon's into redheads.
Yeah. Well, but John's also like
John can't.
John can't because he took the black again.
Jon can't ever freaking fall in love.
No, that guy.
I
has bad
don't.
luck.
You just don't. Both your freaking women die in your arms.
I would stop. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Just stop getting,
Allowed to give up.
And then Tyrion kind of just like, let's say Bran. Do you like the decision with Bran?
I didn't know I would like it. I didn't want it.
Do you like it though?
I am satisfied with it.
What about you?
Actually, yeah.
I think it's a smart
It's a good
choice.
call. Like if we're gonna like
He's
somebody,
a smart
like
guy.
who else?
Also, Bran was pushed out of the window by the Kingslayer.
Yeah.
Foreshadowing. And also, like, he tried new level for Jaime.
Yeah.
Just trying to kill a king's a
king.
future king.
Yeah.
And then also you have that shot in the first episode where Ned is executing the Night's Watchman, and when the camera cuts, he says, basically, the rightful heir to the heir, or the king. What's the words? Gosh dang it.
In the name of Robert, King of the Andals, and of the First Men.
Yeah, right when he says King of the Andals and the First Men, it cuts to Jon and Bran, which everyone thought
John,
but it's Bran.
It's Bran.
Name of Robert of the House Baratheon, the first of his name.
Don't look away.
King of the Andals and the first
Father will know if you do.
I think this is a books thing, and I think that's kind of cool. I like it. I wish he was a little bit more humanized, but it kind of shows that a king needs to be a perfect king needs to be Bran. You know what I mean? So in real life, a monarch doesn't work because no one's like Bran.
No.
Yeah.
Right.
I think it's a good choice. And then Sansa,
His dick don't work.
Yeah. Exactly.
She's like, no.
Bran has no interest in ruling, and he can't father children.
Like, why can't I be queen? And why did everybody just like just decide? I
Okay.
kind of wish we got a little bit more pushback.
Well, me.
Meh.
Well, first of all, they need to finish the episode.
Yeah. But that's how kind of all these group gatherings have been this entire series.
They
like, people get together and they just all agree.
They could have had 2
they
different
change their minds
episodes on this, I feel like. 2 different episodes.
But do you really want the finale to be
I would have
45 minutes of the Lords of Westeros arguing about who should be the king?
The first 20 minutes, yes.
So boring.
And then have somebody explain to the ones who have no idea what it is.
And then I want an epilogue after where I cry throughout the whole thing like I did with this one.
Yeah, you did.
Dude,
you kept Snapchatting me like, dude,
I was crying. I was like 3 a.m. because I was waiting for that video to render. And I was bawling my eyes out. Oh, Arya and Jon. And then Bran the Broken. He agrees. He makes Tyrion be his hand.
And he's like, I don't want to be a hand. It's like, well, shit, I don't want to be a king. So, suck it.
And then he's like, no, we want justice. Yeah. And then Davos like, or this is before, I guess, Davos was like, I thought it was funny, we talked about this at work, when Davos offers the Reach to the thing to build their own houses. Grey Worm's like, no, you fucking idiot.
Unsullied. He offers the Unsullied. He's like, Grey Worm, go, start your own house.
He's like, I don't want that.
How?
With what?
With what, bro? I ain't got no stones.
Basically. Yeah. And then Grey Worm's pissed about it, and he's like, well, he just got justice. He has to fix all his mistakes that he's made for the rest of his life. It's like, I like that. Yeah. And, a lot of people say that it's Bran ruling, but it's mostly Tyrion.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's kind of pulling the strings, and I think Bran knows that.
Yeah.
Like, he knows that he's
king?
the best. Yeah.
Just like Tywin explained.
Yeah. And it's
wise
funny.
King listens to his counselors. Exactly.
The king knows exactly what he is. And that's why Daenerys wasn't good, because she didn't know who she was.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Tywin, best character ever. Best villain of the show. Fight me on it.
Okay.
Fisticuffs?
Fisticuffs. Outside right now.
That's
it's
like
raining.
Second episode that we've started a fight in a row. The North is now an independent nation.
Yeah.
Or
Sense
country.
is like, I love you, brother, but I'm staying out.
I
North is
like
staying
that.
out.
I think that's a good call. Like, they deserve independence.
Yeah, they're kind of their own thing anyway. Like, it's a completely different place.
Yeah.
And then
We just started the epilogue at this point, right?
Basically.
Like,
So-
there's the council scene, which is pretty entertaining.
Yep.
Like,
you're right.
They show the book, The Song of Ice and Fire.
Oh yeah.
Which
so
some people were pissed about, but I'm like, dude, it like happens in like The Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Chill.
But before that, we get Jon getting told that he's going to the Night's Watch.
Yeah, that too.
He's like, there's a Night's Watch.
like, what's the point of the Night's Watch? Actually, there is no point to the Night's Watch.
They're basically a glorified police force.
They're not even. They just hang out and drink.
Sounds good to me.
I think. Well, also like, Jon went north with the wildlings.
Yeah, because the free folk don't give a crap anymore.
Yeah.
There are no White Walkers.
Snarks and Grumpkins.
Yeah, whatever those are.
And then you also have...
What are they supposed to do? Kill Drogon if he comes back?
You have a paranoid... Is that the right way to say that?
Paranoid.
Yeah, paranoid.
Oh my gosh, I feel like I'm saying it wrong. The paranoid... Oh my gosh.
Paranoid.
Just
Northmen.
Yes, good job.
They're paranoid. And... I guess the White Walkers could come back. So I guess why not keep they kept them for 800 years with no threat. So why not keep them again? I guess wildlings. Anyways.
Yeah.
But, and Tyrion mentions, broken bastards and broken men need to be a part of something too.
Dwarfs, bastards, and broken things.
Yep. That's episode 3 or 4. I think. I like that episode a lot too. But we also, Jon asking if what he did was right. And Tyrion says, ask me in 10 years. Which I like. And he's like, well, this is the last time we'll ever see each other. And he's like, a few years of Hand of the King will make anyone want to piss off the edge of the world.
Yeah.
Love that. With all my heart. Those are like 2 of my favorite characters, And I never thought when I watched this show that I would have such good conversation pieces between those 2 again.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So good.
Yeah. Especially, Tyrion's been back to form in this episode, I feel like. Like, he's been very,
Yeah. He's been kind of like
Yeah.
The writers haven't put a lot into his.
He's become a side character.
Yeah, he's become a side character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then John gets he's definitely heading to the Night's Watch, and he runs into Grey Worm. Grey Worm gives him a look. Grey Worm's gonna take Miss Sundae's body back to North. I didn't think of that, and protect the people, which I like, even though he should have died for what he did.
Also, I'd just like to point out that John has to go to the Night's Watch to appease Grey Worm, who is leaving the country.
Yeah, he could have just stayed.
Yeah,
it's kind of a dumb reason to send John to the North, in my own opinion.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of just have to overlook it, you know. Yeah. But it is what John wants, and he doesn't realize he wants it. But this is the most emotional part of the show for me, was John saying bye to Sansa and Arya. I don't know. They're so cute together, guys.
Bran's just like tripping.
John's smiling for the first time in his life.
Yeah.
And Sansa too. I'm pretty sure those two have never smiled.
No,
in the show. They've smiled in the show, but like, it's
Sansa
rare.
was kind of silly in the beginning.
Yeah.
Arya was a silly girl.
Yeah, and Arya was silly.
Arya was awesome.
I bet he smiled when he gave her needle.
Oh yeah. And then when he said, "Do you have your needle?" and she says, "Right here." Oh. And then Sansa says she's sorry and blah blah blah. They lost their king, and he says, "Well, they'll have to answer to Ned Stark's daughter." And I thought that was awesome. Got to get that last mention of Ned Stark in, because Ned Stark's easily one of the best characters of the show.
Oh yeah.
Biggest emotional pull for me was Arya and John. What do you guys think there?
I think you have more of a personal connection though with these two characters.
Yeah, just because John, it just reminds me of me and my sister.
Yeah.
So, and my sister actually kind of looks like Arya as a kid.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
You have a personal connection.
Yes, I just have a personal connection with these characters, so it's very emotional, and I love that she's going she's going west.
Of Westeros.
Yeah. And it's calling back to what she said to Lady Crane in season 6.
Northros.
Northros.
Southros.
Something.
And
America.
She's gonna go discover America.
I even got like a little personal connection between him and Bran, his goodbye to Bran. Because I teared up a little bit when I watched that.
Yeah, he's like, "I'm sorry I couldn't be there."
Yeah, and then he says, "You've been where you're supposed to be," and I think that's more just John, like being connected to John and his adventure.
Yeah.
But overall, I love those two goodbyes. And then we kind of cut to him leaving and Brienne writing in the Book of Brothers, the White Book of the Kingsguard.
Yeah. She's finishing Jaime's story.
He got a small dick.
Yeah, he got a small dick. He ain't not that good in bed. You kidding me? That skank.
What a bitch.
It's going to be a meme for days to come.
No, I cried in this one too. Other than I wish they would.
I love you say days.
Days.
Memes don't last that long nowadays.
Yeah. Except for that one.
That one's probably going to last a while.
But
it's still a better love story than Twilight.
Oh, that was like a but I cried in this moment. Other than I wish she would have written thank you,
Rinded.
What are you, Davos and Stannis over here?
That was one of the best parts, actually. One of the best character developments is when Davos, a man who couldn't read, now corrects people's grammar.
It's so good. That's like the nerd character arc.
Yeah, so good.
But she didn't mention that he saved 500,000 people from the Mad King in the book, unless they wrote it off screen. But I don't know why they would. She didn't correct the error that was written in that book.
Yeah, she just kind of moved on because it had already talked about.
Yeah,
you said wrote again.
Damn it.
Yes,
fewer.
10,000 less. Fewer. What?
I didn't love that, but I think it's cool, and especially that he died protecting his queen. That really got me.
Yeah, that's
especially
a
I love
Jaime. Somebody who betrayed her.
Yeah. And then we get the meeting they have. Oh, that's part of the epilogue. I forgot about that. Like the little montage towards the end. Yeah. They're meeting. Everybody's loving their new title names. You got Sam, the Archmaester. You got
He's not the Archmaester. He's the Maester of King's Landing.
Which is the Archmaester?
but he quotes the Archmaester. The Archmaester is the one who wrote the book.
That's the... I'm pretty sure Grandmaster Pycelle was the Archmaester too, though.
Oh, no, there's an Archmaester and a Grandmaster.
So he's the Grandmaster.
No,
Yeah.
Grandmaster is
The
the guy
Archmaester is the one in charge of the Citadel.
I thought
Yes.
it's the other way
No,
around.
he's right.
You know what? If
Remember when you just called him Grandmaster Pycelle?
maybe.
It's Grandmaster.
But then he's like referencing himself as Archmaester.
I don't think so.
No, he's talking about the other one.
Okay, whatever. You're right. I think you might be right. Even though I hate it.
I think I'm right, too. That's why I keep saying it. I could be wrong, but I think I'm right.
But anyway,
Bran basically says he's going to go warg into Drogon.
basically.
Yeah,
he's
pretty
like-
much.
She's like,
I know you guys wanted to see this, but
yeah.
can't show it.
No.
Sorry, CGI budget's
CGI's
out.
out. You know what we spend the CGI budget on?
Ghost
Good boy,
news.
Pat.
Yes. Yeah, we'll get to that in a second. That might be the best moment of the episode. And then Pod's a nice little...
He's a knight.
He's a knight.
Yep, he's in
Sir
the King's
Podrick
Guard.
Payne. I'm sure that, they changed the rules. He can bed women and stuff now.
Might as well change the rules.
Yeah, might as well. Everything. This is like the one time to change every rule in the book.
Yeah.
Then they get their funny jokes around. I just mixed in my next sentence that Tyrion tells his joke. I brought a jackass and a honeycomb into a brothel.
And then he didn't finish it.
For us.
He finished it for them.
Yeah, he's never been able to finish it before then. I'm sure he has. But then we get into this montage. The very emotional montage. We got the Starks. Jon grabbing Longclaw. Arya grabbing Needle. Sansa.
Slipping into one of those beautiful dresses ever made
That's what
in
I'm gonna say.
cinematic history.
I love the leaves.
It's
yeah,
the
it's the Godswood.
The
Godswood,
Godswood leaves.
and then,
the
like,
weirwood.
and then the Karstark the armor.
The Stark armor.
Whatever.
Yeah. It's okay.
Fuck off. Bitch.
You too, bitch. Also, you're a bitch, Jose.
Kiss.
Anyways, beautiful dress. I loved it. She looked
Yeah.
dazzling,
It's
amazing.
fucking awesome.
Every good word you can think of.
Cool crown.
I love Sophie Turner too, as well.
And then Queen of the North.
Yeah, except for that one guy pointing the
Yeah,
sword
there's that one.
sideways.
Well, there's the guy who's going out,
Yeah,
and then there's the guy at the end who's just standing with his arms crossed.
dumbass.
No.
That's Queen Sansa here. Maybe there's just supposed to be a spinoff about that guy.
Yeah,
Beheaded.
That's one of the 3 spin-off series.
One of the 5, you mean?
There are 5?
Yeah.
Jeez.
They
Ari-
announced 2 more in the past 3 days.
Gosh, I don't know. Arya does her little telescope thing. She basically becomes the Dread Pirate Roberts.
Oh, she is the Dread Pirate Roberts, isn't she?
Yeah.
She's the next one. Or maybe this is a prequel to Princess Bride.
Her first mate is going to be the first Dread Pirate
And her
Roberts.
son is Inigo Montoya.
Anino Montoya. Yes.
I don't know. Even though that, unless she changes her name.
She's definitely not Spanish.
She's definitely not Spanish.
No.
Such a good little thing. And then you got Kit Harington's first shot. His first shot was walking through that hallway at the Night's or at Castle Black, recreating it. You have them both, all 3 of them walking. You have Ghost.
He's good boy, Pat.
John's making his way through the wildlings, about to take him north, and then he spots Ghost.
It's like, good boy.
And can we get the record clear on what we were like when we saw this scene?
This is the only time that we
There was-
cheered.
It was the only time in this entire series that there was cheering and applause in the living room.
It's like, good boy, Pat!
Yeah.
It's so exciting. I was like, yes, I knew he was going to get him. I knew in the back of my head. I don't think I ever said it, but...
Yeah. People are going to say that's fan service, but that literally
There's
takes
no way they could have done that
months
in time.
that's epilogue.
Months to do.
Arya's getting ready to explore, just like the end of season 4, which I love that ending. Season 4 is my favorite season. And so it's kind of 4 and 8, whatever math. And then Jon leaves the Night's Watch. We get that shot. The opening shot of the series is recreated with him and Tormund.
Yeah.
which was awesome. I love that shot with the gate rolling up, and then Jon looks back after the sprout, so winter's over, and Jon looks back and he basically confirms, I'm the fucking king beyond the wall.
Yeah.
I love it. I think this is the perfect episode for the Stark guys, or perfect ending for the Starks.
Yeah.
Would you guys agree?
Yeah, Starks rule the world.
Literally.
Yeah, it's true. The music was great. The first scene and the last scene were both me on the wall. I think that's awesome too.
Yep.
I don't know. What do you guys think about this ending?
It's good. Like,
Yeah.
I am completely fine with it. I am happy with it.
Satisfied?
I'm satisfied. It was good.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. I think, like I said earlier, the season 8 had to go by super fast, but this is a good ending to the story.
I wish they would have went a little bit longer, but you know,
We all do.
We got what we have, and we gotta be like, we don't necessarily have to be satisfied, but we also had one of the shows that's going to be going down as one of the best shows of all time.
Oh,
Right.
And one of the most influential, one of the most groundbreaking shows of all time as well. And we got to acknowledge that there's good in this show.
There's a lot of good.
You know, say what you want about D&D, they did a good job with what they had.
Mm-hmm.
And you can say, oh, they fucked up the story, but George R. R. Martin hasn't even written the other 2 books.
Yeah.
So he doesn't get a pass either if you're going to tear them apart. I love the show, what it means to us. We have a video coming out, the Memoriam video, show recap, basically just our thoughts and feelings about the show. So we'll leave that for that. Do you guys have a final one-word grading for this show, this episode, The Iron Throne?
As satisfying as a good plate of chicken and waffles.
Thank you for making it hard.
Chicken and waffles?
Dude, chicken and waffles is freaking legit. You should try it sometime.
I'm good.
They have it at Waffle Love, and it's delicious. It's amazing.
I've seen it. It's weird.
That's what I said until I tried it. It's good.
Okay. I'll try chicken and waffles.
Whoa, what's your one word?
Chicken and waffles?
No.
No, I'm joking. I can't really say. I had this problem last time we thought about this. Satisfied.
Satisfied?
Yeah, satisfied.
Wow, one word. That's like the first time in history.
No, I've done one words before.
I will say this was a very immensely emotional ending for me, Oakley. And I love Game of Thrones.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, that's it from us, guys. You can follow us on Third Winter-ish on Instagram and Twitter. SoundCloud at Third Winter Podcast. Oakley.bc on Instagram, and the Oak Trees for my reviews account.
Dan_Beowulf, like the epic poem.
And something.
Something.
You
TBA.
don't want to see it.
We're doing a Tarantino series leading up to Once Upon a Time in the Hollywood, so watch out for that, and our Game of Thrones Memoriam video. And that's it, guys. Winter is coming.
Winter's over.
Valid Magulas?
Ballad the Harris.
I'll have 2 chickens.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you like what you saw here, make sure you subscribe down below. We also have some Game of Thrones videos right there, and we have some movie reviews right there. Thank you for your love and support, and remember, winter is coming. Or don't follow us. You don't have to.